Hi everyone, this is Ender314. We're back here in our Stoneblock world, hardcore mode. And last stream, or last video I should say, we got this set up. So we got a little smeltery, it's making stone for us. And we made lava, but what we want to do before anything else is we want to automate that lava. So automating lava requires Invar. So we need iron and we need nickel. And we need to alloy that in here. So we're going to let that keep going. But let's get some nickel. We need iron and nickel. Do we have nickel? We should have nickel chunks. So let's make some nickel ore chunks. Yeah, we have 15 of those. So let's just use 3. 3 of those. Those 6 iron ore chunks should be good. Oh yeah, and we have that Invar hammer from before, yeah. So, excuse me. Let's put some iron and nickel in here. I think we also need some additional iron, if I recall correctly, because we need to make another servo, and we were just shy on iron for that at the end of the last video. So, while that's melting, let's go check on our farm. It's not really a farm yet. I want more worms. We'll clear some space for a mob farm soon, but yeah, we need to make a couple of servos. We need to make the servos on the hardened fluid ducts. So there we have 2 blocks of molten Invar. So that's casting. So we click this to bring the Invar to the bottom. See, now it's casting Invar. This will be so good to get this automated. So I think we need to make a thermal tank. Because the thermal portable tank is pretty simple. We can probably make one of them now, before we get the rest of our iron. Let's make a thermal tank. Ooh, we need copper. Do I not have copper yet? It's funny, I've been playing in another world. It's many more days into the game. I'm so used to having resources, but make some copper chunks. And we'll smelt down some of those too. But we'll get there. We're running low on food. So now, as soon as that Invar is done casting, so the Invar is done casting, let's put that iron on the bottom. And let's smelt down some copper. And the hardened fluiducts. I don't remember exactly how those are made. So that's Invar and lead. So now we have some hardened fluiducts. So when we need to make servos, okay, so there's the copper, there's the iron, and we got a bunch of stone coming in. So pretty soon we'll be able to expand the smeltery here. Let's just wait a moment. I really need to take out that Enderman, but I'm kind of afraid of him because it's hardcore and I still have no armor. So let's cast some of the copper right after the iron. And I am sort of tired of waiting around here, so while this is happening, let me just clear some more space this way. I don't like just standing idle. We're going to put the mob farm over this way. Clear a little more. I don't want to fast forward the video when there's so little going on, but... or I should say when there's so little waiting to do. So, okay, so now we got some copper, and we got some iron. And we don't need all this cobble in our inventory, it's clogging it up. So, let's make a couple of servos. So let's make the tank at therm tank. Okay, now we have a tank. And at therm servo. We just need 2 of these at the moment. So now let's put down the tank. There's the tank. Put that right next to there. Put a hardened fluid duct connecting it to the crucible. And then these fluid ducts don't pull on their own, so we need to put a servo here. Tell it to ignore. And now that's filling with lava. And tell this to ignore. So now it should be pulling cobble from there. I don't know how that tin got in there. I must have not been paying attention. So now we see this is filling up with cobble. You don't see the lava because the lava is going right in here. So that's some really good automation to get going. And now we have the seared stone coming out of here. We have some tin. So the next thing we got to do is expand this smeltery using the seared stone. So we're going to let that cast a little bit more. We're going to go get rid of some of these things in our inventory. Do a little bit of inventory management. There, we have some good resources there. So now, well, the other 2 priorities are the mob farm, the farm, and upgrading the cobble gen. So let's do some hoeing here. And this is really remarkable. I'm not sure why I haven't gotten any worms yet. There we go. There's a couple of worms. That's what I want. So now I have 2 worms. So worms are nice because, you see, they till the area, but they also keep it moist. They keep it hydrated so you don't have to put down a water source block. And they also just let the things grow a little bit faster. So now I can go get some seeds, put the seeds there, they'll grow. So we need to grow a few things. We need to grow seeds, because we need those to get into mystical agriculture. We need to grow flax, because the string is important. What else do we need to grow? We need to grow rice, because rice you can make into paper. We're going to need some sugarcane and some cactus too, but let's just start with a few things to get going here. What I'm going to do is start planting these in the area with the worms, and we'll harvest them manually for a little bit. We're going to very rapidly want to get into an automated farm using the Actually Additions Farmer, which works really well, but we don't have power yet, and we don't have the atomic reconstructor to do that stuff, but now we have some crops growing. So we'll come back periodically. We'll till this area. But is this finished? Yeah, this is finished. So let's expand the smeltery. We'll have it smelt a lot more things. And then, see, that's filling up with lava. That's good. How much does the basic tank use? I think it holds just 20 buckets. At therm tank. Yeah, it holds 20 buckets, which is a good bit for the smeltery. It's not a ton overall, but we have this set to ignore. Yeah, so that's working well. And we're getting cobble. We're going to have to upgrade that, but okay. So now that the smeltery is empty, oh, I don't think I had to break that block. I just had to break a couple here. So I can probably leave that there. So luckily that seared tank remembers what's in there. And now I can break this. So we'll take the seared stone, make that all into seared brick. Now we have quite a bit of seared brick, so we can build this up. Then we can smelt a lot more things. We're going to need to upgrade our pickaxe here, but we're not quite there yet. Let me get a piece of stone. I don't like having things be cobble when I can have them be stone. Or am I out of stone already? So that's stone. There's that. So now it recognizes that's a smeltery again with a much bigger capacity, but that's not good enough. Oh, by the way, you don't want to stand in a smeltery that's full of fuel because you will start taking damage. I know that, and you occasionally see it when you have a smeltery that's big enough. You'll see enemies start spawning in there, and you'll just come back and you'll see blood in it. I had one game, actually, it was pretty funny, where some witches were spawning in there, and they were taking damage. But when witches take damage, they drink healing potions, and they were healing fast enough that they were not dying. But it just kept filling up with blood. I came back and that was just full of blood. So, how many do we have here? 3, 6. Can we put in another layer? Of course, we ultimately want this to be the height of the room. But yeah, so my smeltery filled up with blood in that game. Oh. Which is occasionally useful, I guess, if you want to make pig iron, but wow. Those blocks sometimes glitch out. Okay, so not enough to build up that whole second layer. But that's okay, because the first thing we're going to do is build up that whole second layer by making the same thing we did before. We're going to make a ton of stone hammers, drop them all in there, and then we're going to go work on our mob farm. So stone hammer, stone hammer, stone hammer, and stone hammer. So 32 stone hammers, or stone hammer heads, I should say. So now the capacity here is a lot more. See all this scrolling? So we can drop all 32 stone hammerheads in there, and there's still space. But that is probably enough. And we don't have the smelter drain in there. We're going to need to put that in the casting table somewhere. But we're not solving that problem right now. Because what we need to do is check over here. So those crops are growing. Let's till a little more, see if we get some more worms. There we go, we're getting worms now. And then really quick, I need to get into a mob farm because Mob farms are really the best way to get so many things in Stoneblock, because those loot bags just give you access to everything. There's so many things that you can basically just not even have to go to the nether to get nether quartz. Excuse me, taking a drink there. To get nether quartz, or to get silicon, or to get these growth crystals. They're just, you get everything. And then with the advent of mystical agriculture makes it easy to multiply a few of those into a ton. So where are the... Yeah, so this is probably good. We want our mob farm to be a little bit away here, so I'm going to clear out a bunch more space with my Anvor hammer for the mob farm here, so I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So this is our original room down here. What we've done is cleared out a space at the end of the hallway. This is going to be where the mobs spawn. Then we got a little hallway around the side. We're going to have to put in fans, and we're going to have to put in a mob grinding device down here, which is going to take a little more time to build, but first we gotta go check on our smeltery and probably expand it a little bit more and smelt some iron, and check on our lava. So it looks like, this looks like it's full of lava, because this isn't pulling anymore. And this is still smelting seared stone, but let's pick this up. So yeah, so this seared tank is full of lava. So this is the next thing we got to do to get a little bit more automated here. We'll take that. So we need another servo. Or no, we don't need a servo. Because we can make this auto eject, but we do need a conduit to hook it up to the seared tank there. So a hardened fluid duct. Let's drop off our cobble here. We got a lot of cobble from clearing that room. So you'll see if I right click on the seared tank here, or you can just see in the heads up display there, there's 3,000 buckets in there, so it's not full. But I can right click this with a wrench. Is it shift right click? No, shift right click drops it. So just right click. Yeah, right click makes it auto eject. So now it's going to auto eject into there. So this is just going to stay full. So we don't ever need to put buckets into there again. And when it's full, it processes faster. And that 20 buckets will keep this going for a good long time. And we have 39 more seared stone in there. So what we're going to do next is expand this smeltery a little bit more. There's still a bunch more processing there at 23 blocks. So let's very carefully climb up here on top. Yeah, we really don't want to fall in there. So we'll be careful. You see even the cobble we knock out is going to be smelted down in there as it falls. That's good. So that's another layer finished here. So if we right click on the controller, we can see this is even bigger. So now there's a ton of space in here. And these Endermen are really a nuisance because you don't want to deal with them, but we're way too weak to fight them because we don't have any armor. Put a couple torches on the wall there, and you have to be very careful not to look at the Enderman or hit him in any way. Building up the smeltery. Careful. Enderman's looking at me. Used up all the seared brick. Still not quite complete. We have some more here. Will that be enough to finish it? That Enderman is stressing me out. I should see if I could just push him into the smeltery. He would get angry if I did that, for sure. Maybe not at me. Okay, so now our smelter is full, and now there's a ton of space in here. So, yeah, capacity 840 ingots. That's a bit. Yeah, we have torches in here, so that's good. And I want to break that block, but maybe not when there's an Enderman standing on it. So the next thing, we're going to need a bunch of iron. So let's drop a bunch of iron in there. So yeah, okay, so that's going to cast a bunch of iron. Because what we want to make is a mob grinder. This thing from Mob Mashing Utilities. So that requires a good bit of iron, a few diamonds, some redstone, some iron sword. Yeah, and these iron spikes require iron blocks, so yeah, a good bit of materials required there, but see we're out of food, so we have to take care of our food situation. Yeah, we got a good bit of resources in here, but we should probably go check on our farm. But we need to cook more food for sure. So now we have 60 apples here. Let's cook a whole stack. And we're going to need more coal here soon, so we need to get back to working on the sieve, but let's check on the farm. Yeah, we have some stuff going there, so we'll try to get more worms here. Strangely enough, did not get another worm. They are usually more frequent than that, but we do have some grown crops, so we'll harvest some of those. Replant what we can. And we'll come back there a little later. One thing we are going to do, clean this up. So let's let this finish casting. Oh, we are one stone short here. So the stone we dropped in there earlier came out to an odd amount. So now this is one thing that happens occasionally with a smeltery. So See, that's 216 out of 288 millibuckets, so it's not quite full. And you can't cast anything else. So we could break the casting basin to destroy that, or we could melt another piece of cobble to fill it in, which is what we're going to do here. And then we're going to have a bunch of iron, because we've got 8 blocks of molten iron. And we're going to start planning out. We need some dirt, so we need to work on our mob farm a little bit here. So we need dirt. We're probably going to get into hammering some blocks pretty soon here. I'm not sure if we have enough dirt. Yeah, we have enough dirt. So where's our witch water? We need that. So do we have another bucket around? Oh, we have the water bucket. We can use that. So if you click a water bucket on water, it just empties it. So that is witch water. So that's really important, because witch water turns enemies into other enemies. So it turns skeletons into wither skeletons. It turns villagers into zombie villagers. Is that it? I don't remember all the details, but the important one is that it turns skeletons into wither skeletons. And we want the wither skeletons because they can give us the drop of evil. Oh, and we finally broke our Invar hammer, which was bound to happen, but it was a free gift, so that's okay. We'll just break these last ones with our pick here manually. And we're going to have to upgrade our pick, but I really want to get this mob farm going here. Okay, so we need to put down dirt. Because we'll turn this into cursed earth when we get a drop of evil. And cursed earth, that spawns enemies super fast, so going back to the original point of the witch water, turns skeletons into wither skeletons. Wither skeletons drop a lot of things you want. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So that looks good. Wither skeletons drop wither skulls, but they also drop drops of evil. And drops of evil turn earth into cursed earth, which spawns mobs super fast. So we're going to put the witch water here, we're going to put the mob masher down there, which means we're going to need a switch right on the other side of this wall. So just break those out. So let me grab a couple. I have to craft a few levers. But let me check on the smeltery here. So that seared stone went on top, so we have to switch it to the bottom. Now that's full. So now when I come back, there should be a bunch of iron. And we should probably make another seared tank to collect that lava. We're eventually going to want something with higher capacity, but I shouldn't say seared tank. Portable tank from thermal. That's what we need. Let's make another one of these. Well, let's drop off the sticks while we're here. And also, let's do a little more inventory management. So you see, this crucible is probably full of lava, yeah, so we need to give that lava somewhere to go. So, for the moment, let's put a storage crate here. That can be the farming storage crate, so we'll put crops from the farm and the seeds there. Do we have one in here? Do we have a storage crate? No. Let's put a little storage crate here. Put a little more light, so we can put smeltery related things in here. We're gonna have to deal with that later, but let's grab some of this iron. Yeah, see, we got a lot more iron coming in here. So what do we need to make? We need to make a couple of fans, a couple of levers. So I think we need 5 levers. We need 4 fans. So this is the open blocks fan. Later we'll get some better fans for mob grinding utilities, but 2, 3, 4. We don't have the materials for those just yet. But we'll get there. And we need to make the mob masher. So this thing's nice. It sits in the corner and spins, and you can put a lot of upgrades in it. So you can put sharpness in there, looting, beheading, fire aspect, bane of arthropods, and beheading, which ultimately we'll do. So that's nice. It's nice to have something that grows with you. But so we need some diamonds. We need a block of redstone. Can we make that? For a block of redstone. I forget how many swords we need. I think it's 8. 6, 7, 8. So I think we're close to having this finished. 2 more blocks of iron. And do we have the 3 diamonds? I think we do. No, we have 2 diamonds. Is that all we have? Because if that's all we have, we're going to have to work at the sieve a little bit here. So let's try this. So we need to make the iron spikes. We need to make the iron spikes. And we need 1 more block of iron, which that we should have from over here. Another block of iron. You see this smeltery, this is just a great way to process materials, so yeah, it doesn't look like we have enough diamonds. So we are 1 diamond short here. Do we have any gravel? We can just sieve quick. Not really. Okay. So what I'm going to do is take some of these copper ore chunks. What else do we have here? Let's make some gold chunks. There we have 13 of those. So I like to drop things off in the smeltery in multiples of 9 so that they turn into an even number of blocks and we don't get that weird clogging that happens. But you have to be careful not to drop things in there that will alloy. So what we need, oh wow, lost track of what I was doing there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Make some compressed cobble. Now we have compressed cobble. Let's do a little bit more of inventory management. It's amazing how much time is just running around, trying to manage your inventory, drop stuff off that you don't need. So, as you can see here, we want to make that mob masher, and we're short a couple diamonds. The easiest way to get a couple of diamonds is going to be to sieve gravel. So I got this stack of compressed cobble, I got this compressed stone hammer. So what I'm going to do is lay that all down, break it, and sieve it. But first, I'm going to drop off some of this copper to smelt. And I'll drop this off as I go through this. So I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. So now we didn't have to go through all that gravel, but we went through a good bit of it. So now we have the diamonds we need. We have the iron spikes, we have the dirt, so let's get back to building this mob farm. We do have more iron ore pieces, because you always need more iron. It's the fundamental truth of modded. Everything needs iron. So I think we're going to make a couple of hoppers. Do we have what we need for that? Need some wood. Hopper. Short on iron again. Do we have more iron still over here? Yeah, we do. And we can drop off this. So, crafting another hopper. Eventually we'll make something better than a hopper, but getting back over here, so let's figure this out. So we need a place to capture what drops out of the mobs. So the mob masher is going to go right there, so let's put the storage crate right there. This will just be a little way for us to get down and access that. So let's make us some little stairs, so we'll be able to access that. I want some more stone so this looks nice. Oh, we need those apples. So, we need some stone. And we'll do a little more inventory management here. I keep realizing that I have things in my inventory I shouldn't. I need to drop them somewhere. It'll be so much better when we get something like refined storage set up and things like that are easier to manage. So, hopper here, hopper here. Did we put that down correctly? Yeah, facing that. So there's nothing in here, but if we drop a stone, it shows up in there. That's right. So mob masher goes here, but that's not what we intended to do. We put it down the wrong way. Let me put a diamond on my pickaxe because I always get nervous in the early parts of the game here. Because I basically have a stone pick, so it doesn't have the right mining level. And if it doesn't have the right mining level, it might just destroy something instead of dropping it. So adding a diamond to that, well, it raises the durability too, so the durability now is much higher. But also it mines faster. So let's put that down there. So let's check out our levers. So we need a lever right there. So if I flip that on, the mob masher spinning. That's good. That is good. And we're going to need this to be dark in here. So that's good there. We're going to put down our witch water, which has two purposes. It'll turn things... I don't want to step in that. That's going to really hurt me if I do. But it'll also sweep any of the drops from the mobs into there. So now we need the spaces for the mob fans. So these fans will go like this, and these, yeah. So I always get confused because mods aren't incredibly consistent with how they do this, but these ones you place them down and they face you. Sometimes things face away from you when you place them down, but now I need to put levers on the other side because these need power. I accidentally dropped the levers. So if I put this here and I put a switch there, and I flip it on, you'll see that it's spinning and it's pushing me a little bit. This isn't a real powerful fan, but it's good to get going in the early stages of the game. So lever, I'll turn everything off for the moment. I gotta make sure everything's good. I always get worried when I'm building a mob farm, especially in hardcore, because you're basically building a death trap. And you really don't want to get caught in your own death trap. I don't think I have before. I don't think I've died. I've definitely accidentally jumped in and taken damage. So you want to put some bricks here. So now we can't see that. We need to make this a little nicer, which means down one more level here. So that way I can come down here and look at what's in the chest. That's good. So now the only thing missing here is that we're going to have to punch down the torches. Very carefully walk out of here, turn stuff on, and then it should just work. So that's the last torch. So now it's dark in here. Flip on the mob masher. Flip on these fans. It's all sealed up. And yeah, now we can look and see what's in here. There's just a few of the torches I knocked down. So let's double check this. So that's on. That's on. That's on. That's on. And that's on. You can see on the mini map in the upper corner that it's a little light in there still. Probably over on that other side. There's a little light getting in. Probably right here. Yeah, it's hard to tell. That's probably okay. I think that's close to what I normally build, so what we got to do now here, we got just a little time left in the video, but we're going to go back. So we've done the mob farm, we've automated the lava, we've done the farm. We want to upgrade our combo gen. So let's check on the farm, see if anything happens while we're doing that. Oh yeah, so we got some growth there. We got some more worms. That's nice. 3 more worms. And we got some crops. So I can put down the 3 more worms. 1, 2. They work in a 3x3 area. Get some more seeds, so this is expanding. That's nice. One of the things that I'm looking forward to getting from the loot bags is you get these specter coils, which are basically free power. Oh, you can see in the overworld map there, there's definitely some mobs getting pushed in there and dying. In the upper right hand corner of my screen there. If we go nearby, we should hear it. The one caveat here is creepers can explode through a wall. If they're right on the other side of the wall and you walk right up to it, you'll be close enough to trigger them. So we want to be careful not to get like right up against the wall here as we're looking. But yeah, you see here, there's the loot coming in here. There's some rotten flesh, bones, some wither skull fragments, and some wither dust, and some string. Now the loot bag, that's really important. So let me take a minute here to talk about loot bags. So there's a mod called loot bags in here. And there's different tiers, right? There's common, uncommon, rare, epic, legendary. Actually, if I'm going to talk about it, I should back off enough that this should work, because mobs won't spawn if you're too close. So common loot bags, they drop all this stuff, all with different probabilities, but you can see all types of food, leather, lapis, chicken, prismarine, so something that might be normally hard to get. You can get sponge, which is normally hard to get, melon seeds, all this stuff, and that's from the common loot bag. And from the uncommon loot bag, even more interesting things, particularly some feathers, nether quartz, ender lilies, soul sand, like nether wart, endstone, really good stuff. The rare loot bags, you see getting into some more high tier like emerald chest plates. You get silicon, so you could do refined storage if you want to. You get some iron armors, you get the air charms, dynamite, inferium seeds. Very nice. Ender pearls, which we really need those, because those are useful for building a lot of things. So the upper tier, the epic loot bag, so that gives you some even better stuff here. So chorus flower, diamond swords, there's the specter coil. That just gives you 128 RF to protect for free when you put it on something. So gas tiers, which are normally hard to get, brewing stands, ardite ingots, blaze rods. So that's really important. That lets you get blaze rods without going to the end. Or without the nether, sorry. Then we got the legendary loot bags here. So legendary loot bags, tier 3 growth crystal. Get a lot of them. They grow real fast. So that makes mystical agriculture very, very feasible. And you get draconium ingots, you get end portals. So you can just build an end portal. And you get wither skulls and you get diamond armor here. So really, really useful stuff, which is part of the reason I haven't built armor yet, because I know that if I am careful and wait a little bit, I will just be able to get armor from here. Oh, and it's also worth mentioning, there is a, let me just look at the whole mod, at loot. So there's this bag storage. And when you build one of these, it lets you convert bags of different types. So each one of these has a value, like I think common's 1 and uncommon's 4. So you could put in 4 common loot bags and get out an uncommon. But it really allows you to pull out whatever you want. Then there's this one. This is the weird one, the patient bag. So we'll get into that. That basically has a very small chance of having another star inside, and a very, very high chance of just having another patient bag in it. But there's a bag opener that automatically opens loot bags. So what you do is you hook that up and you just keep piping the patient bag back in, and you eventually get nether stars. But that's enough talking there. So what did we do today? We did the mob farm. That's working, albeit a little slowly. After we get the drop of Eve, it'll go much faster. We got an upgraded smeltery here. We can turn that off. We upgraded lava, and we got our farm going a little bit here. So we got some more stuff growing. We don't have any loot crystals or anything yet, but I think that's enough for me for today. So I think next time we're going to get into, we really want to get into an automated farm and mystical agriculture. So that requires the loot bags, but we're going to need to run the sieve to get some more resources. We want to automate that after we get some power here, but yeah, that'll all be next time. I'll create an agenda for that. But by day 9 of the game, having a loot farm or a mob farm getting loot bags is pretty good, even if we don't have a drop of evil yet. But we need to upgrade that mob masher with looting too. So yeah, everyone, thanks for watching here. I'll catch you later.